Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Bar Run Farm and Forge. It's Troy, all by myself. Not exactly. Sasha's back there making noise. The shop cat. But it's great to have you guys in here. Happy New Year! The very first live stream of 2026. 2026. There we go. And you guys are in here with us. Me. Just me. Eli is down in sunny Florida at the moment. And I think he's going to be back tomorrow evening. And so it's just me. And I've been working here in the shop trying to put everything back together. We're not exactly there yet, but it's a whole lot better than what it was. And we've got some new lighting here in the forge. All of the old fluorescents that we had in here, I think all but one. Yeah, all but one. The ballasts finally pooed out on them. And to fix the ballast, change the ballast, you have to go up in the ceiling. And I just don't want to do that. I don't want to change ballasts out. So the good old Harbor Freight shop lights that we have in the other part of the shop, what I did basically was I removed the wiring for the ballasts and basically direct wired or hardwired the regular old LED shop lights into each of the overhead lights. I still have one to do here over top the power hammer, and then there's one that's still good in the front. That's still okay for now, but anyway. So we got some new lighting. Hopefully it kind of looks a little better, a little cleaner. I turned the steel sign off because I started noticing the camera here doesn't look real good. That light kind of blows everything out. But anyway, and then the overhead camera for the anvil went kaput. So we're down a camera. I think we're planning on getting another camera. So what you're going to have tonight is the side camera. I think that's probably already up. Be my guess. I'm hoping that's the case. And the front camera. If I need to really change, I can go over to the other camera that goes to the power hammer. So we're going to keep those cameras. We may change out a different camera for one of these other ones and then move one of those back over to here. But I really want to get a good camera to go over top of the anvil. We'll see. We'll see. Eli and I will have that discussion. Anyway, enough of that. Hi to everybody in here in the chat. Excuse me. Mr. Kyle Jones up there in not so sunny Maine all the time, but I'm sure they're sunny there. Bobby Launis, Robert Launis, the Treadle Shed, man, the myth, the legend himself. Bobby at Dogbone Knives says, hope everyone's had a great New Year's Day. Lodge night for me tonight. Stay safe. God bless. All right, Bobby, we love you, buddy. That's a guy we hope you can get up here in April. Really do, Bobby, before you leave. Try to get that on the schedule. We would love to have you up here in April for the gathering. Is Eric at Pumpkin Patch Forge and Ironworks, I believe. Mr. Jeff Woodring, who I think was first in here this evening. Lighting is good. Sound is great. Well, thank you, buddy. You got some wrought iron there. Yeah, not here, but we do. Thanks to you. Mr. Rob Huff is in here. RCH 317. Gosh, I hate these. I wish they'd go back to their names that you can put in there. It's okay, y'all. I'm here now. Thank goodness. Everyone can rest easy now. Rob Huff is here. Cold up here will be 0 tonight. We had close to 0 last week, and then we had 70 on Sunday, and by Monday, kind of midday, we were at 17. We had 70 to 17 within about less than 24 hours. It was weird. Mr. Roger Caldwell. Hey, there he is. Roger Caldwell is in here. By the way, we did a few sharp, pointy things for a customer here, and the guy wanted some sheaths made for the customer, and I called upon our buddy Roger Caldwell, and let me tell you something. All I did was give him some basic dimensions on these knives, and they wanted some stamped initials in them. Roger knocked it out of the park. These things fit pristinely. They were wonderful. So Roger, great job. Does some really good leather work. That's something I'm not sure I'm ever going to really want to get into. I may do a few things here and there, but I just don't feel it. I'm impressed by guys that do great leather work, but it's just that's not my thing. Rob says too dang cold for me to be in the shop. Well, we are spoiled, as you know. Here we got the propane heater on the wall in here. I don't know what the current temperature is in here, but it's comfortable. I'm in a t-shirt. Um, we haven't got the HVAC hooked up in the other shop yet, but I've got a big torpedo heater in there that runs off diesel fuel or kerosene, either one, and it'll roil you out of there in a hurry. Uh, Not a problem. And I've got it on thermostat, and it runs for about 5 seconds, heats the place up, and it's done for like 5 minutes. So it's pretty good. Everything in your shop rusted on Sunday. Oh man, that sucks. See what everybody else is saying. I have some sharp, pointy things in the works. Well, good for you, buddy. John Burrell says my shop's small, Rob, but heated. That does help. Does help. Oh, that's right. You got some of Eli's stuff that he got from the Holland Anvil sale. And Mr. Thomas Goodymoot just came out here and says howdy, howdy to everyone. Jeff Killian says, I never went outdoors today. That's probably wise. Probably wise. Roger is really good at leatherwork. I'll tell you that right now. He's got a really good eye for it. Does a great job. So we were talking to Bobby about Dogbone. We were talking to him about, oh, that'll be great. I didn't know he made you an apron. That's really cool. We were talking to Bobby at Dogbone about coming up here in April. It's now January 1, so we can start hitting it. We can really start laying out there for the gathering. And I was just talking to a few folks today. Start making your plans. We've got to start making our final contacts on people to make sure they get on the schedule that we're talking about bringing here and doing different things. We're getting excited about it. The thing that I don't want to say anxious about this year, not the food, it's not any of that other stuff. Carter Ironworks, good to have you in here as well. The thing that I'm the most anxious about is going to be, I really, really want the bathroom done. It's been kind of a really big inconvenience here this winter, but anyway, come on, it's 13 degrees up here. Well, I mean, we've had it. We've had the zeros and the 13s and 17s and 5s and stuff like that. So, you know, it is what it is. Do I want to live? Nope, I do not. But anyway, my anxiousness is I really, number one, I really want to get some things finished in the shop, and then I do want to add the bathroom. It's not going to be a big process to get that done because I've got everything kind of in place to do it. It's just, it literally is going to come down to funds. I mean, we got to buy a septic tank. We got to buy all the plumbing pieces and stuff like that. I can frame it out. I can get the shower. I can get the toilet, all that kind of fun stuff. That's not my anxiety about that. I'm not really an anxious person anyway, so that's not what I'm saying. I just really want to have it. I really want to have it for you guys. I want to have it for us. You know, there's multiple occasions where if you guys have been here, you know there's a difference between here and the house. So if the urge hits when it's, you know, snow on the ground or zero, not a fun walk or shuffle. So it would be really, really cool if we had that back here. Plus, with the things we've got going on, I've got 2 guys coming Saturday for a. Yeah, we probably had to do a countdown board, right? I've got a few guys coming in here Saturday for. We're not going to say a class. We're going to say shop time. And again, I'm not worried about all that, but all the hubbub about teaching and things like that. It's more shop time, and they want to see if they can get into blacksmithing and want to get into blacksmithing. Carter Ironworks says, I wish it would finally get cold here. It's been very warm winter, and that makes work slow. Well, that's not the case here. We've had, so far, I want to say, far as our winters are concerned, this has kind of been a. I mean, but we're only 2 weeks into winter. Let's keep that in mind. I mean, technically, we've only had 2 weeks of winter. It's been kind of typical December going into here. Michelle says, "Yeah, and you can stop taking my good dishes." Well, if I have the bathroom and a kitchen back here, I'll have my own dishes back here. I don't have to bring stuff back here. So, that's another incentive for that. But good to have you in here. Everybody say hello to my lovely bride, Michelle Roush. And give her a big clap. That lady right there, if you guys are wondering about coming to the gathering, you'll have some of the best sausage gravy and biscuits you've ever had. She knows how to do sausage gravy. That is for sure. See what else? By saying hi to each other and the Happy New Year stuff. Very good. So anyway, the gathering, April 24th through the 26th. There's Mr. Steve at Uncle Buck's Forge. Good to have you in here. There's somebody else in here who was talking about the loop earlier, and I don't know whether that was a troll or what that was, but anyway, if you're in here and you're listening and watching, hello, 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 howdy, howdy, howdy. And but anyway, April 24th through the 26th, right here at Bar Run Farm and Forge. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a great time. It's and if you've never heard about the gathering, if it's just kind of something new to you, April 24th through 26th, that's a Friday through Sunday. And as a general rule, we're going to have people here on Wednesday and Thursday, and then on Monday and sometimes Tuesday. Just come and enjoy it. If you're the person who likes to come and forge and forge and forge and forge and never stop swinging the hammer, this is the time for you. You can hammer all weekend. If you want to come and forge a little bit, lay the hammer down and hang out, you can do that. If you want to never touch the forge and the hammer all week, that's fine too. A lot of times, I won't say a lot of times, but there's been several occasions during the gathering that I don't really forge. And I'm okay with that. It's my forge. I forge in here all the time, so I don't have to. So anyway, I just, I enjoy having you guys in here. So for me, it's a joy just to experience it, just to be with you guys. Eric says trying to get the wife to come. There again, I want to encourage you guys, and Michelle is in here as well. Bring, if you want to, bring the whole family. We really have. Okay, the CBA as well. Well, hopefully you can make it. We love having you guys here. You and Paul are just a treat to watch work and hang out with, man. You guys are, yeah. And so there's the other side. So you can forge the whole weekend. You can do all of those things. You can, learn how to make things. We're going to hopefully have a few demonstrators here to instruct and show us how to make some things. And then, if the forging is not your thing, which is okay, my buddy Brian from the Vineyard Farmhouse, he comes and he has no interest in blacksmithing. He's a maker. He likes woodworking, things like that. So the next to here and another spot beyond is a woodworking shop and a green woodworking shop. So we use the old methods of the draw knives and the froes and the adzes and things like that. We've got some carving tools now, so I've started making a few, and Eli's made a couple spoons, and we'll get into bowl making. And so I think that's one of the things we're probably going to try to work on this year as well, is making like a bread bowl or a dough bowl or something like that. So there's that part right there, working from original, rough stock and getting a finished product over the weekend. I think it would be a really cool thing. If the gentlemen that we talked to at Quad State do decide to come, they do shave horses and all that kind of fun stuff, and with the draw knives, and they make hickory handles and they make other things on the shave horses. If they are able to come, they're coming from around Chicago. If they're able to come, they're going to demonstrate a lot of the green woodworking carving and stuff like that. So that would be exciting to have those guys here. I hope they come. That's my real hope that they come. And there's a conventional woodworking shop, and by that time, I've just about got all the dust collection finished over there. I've got one more shop furniture piece to build, so that all of the tools are very usable and mobile and things like that. So the woodworking shop is very close to being 100% done as far as for now. And then into the fabrication shop, there is the mill, which I have 2 more things to do on the mill to get it 100% rolling and ready to go. Just not peanut butter cookies. That's right, Kyle. So the mill, the lathe is, I've got to change a motor or something on it because it's not really fantastic. Oh, okay. So over at Sofa, there may be they're looking at doing a TV tray workshop there, not scheduled yet. So by TV tray, if you guys don't know, there's this special design for a mobile, basically a workstation, tool holding, things like that. The Brazil nuts have designed and worked together, and Rob does a great job of putting those together. And doing a workshop on that would be really cool to take from Rob and those guys as well. So keep an eye on the Sofa stuff. But yeah, the fabrication shop. You got the mill, you got the lathe. We've got an entire welding station, and I'm about to add 2 things to it. And if you guys haven't been watching, you look on our channel. We've had some people be very generous to us so far, and we've got a couple others that might be coming. We've had a MIG welder, a TIG welder, and at this moment, 2 plasma cutters sent to us, a welding helmet. We've got a couple other tools that have been sent our way, but you know, we've been blessed to be able to have some tools donated, not donated, but we've done reviews on stuff, and we get to keep those tools here in the shop. So if you're into fabrication and welding, we've got the fab table and TIG, MIG, stick, plasma. So we actually have 2. We'll have 2 handheld plasma cutters. We've got the CNC plasma table, which Eli has really started cranking on. And our hope is this year we would like to expand the CNC plasma business here at Bar Run Farm and Forge. And so that will mean an upgrade to our equipment. We've kind of maxed out the Langmuir setup that we have. We can continue to do the basic stuff that we have, but we found out during Christmas we got kind of slammed, and it's just not efficient enough to keep up with those kinds of things. And we're really hoping this year that we continue to get the orders. Our website traffic has increased exponentially. Our orders have increased exponentially. So we're really hoping that side of the business takes off. And then you got the grinding station and everything over there, and it's about 99% functional over there. I got to do some things to the 2x72 to make it a little bit better and safer, but more usable. So really, the shop has made some major changes. It's just the 2 things that I really want to do would be the bathroom and the kitchen. And that would open up the front part of the shop for a whole lot of what we really hope to do there, is to add kind of shipping and shipping station for packaging and things like that. So then, like the refrigerator and the freezer, we've got a stove in here. That would all go in the kitchen. We still got a lot of Eli's stuff that's going in his house, which will be done in the next week or 2. So he'll be moved in. So that opened up some space. There's a lot going on. 2026 really does look like it's going to be just a phenomenal time here at Bar Run Forge. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's and Bobby's right. It's a great problem to have. We're stupid blessed here. So if you can, come join us for the gathering, April 24th through the 26th. Really hoping to have our highest attendance was 42. That's an exciting big number that we've had here at the shop. man, I don't know why we're not going to be in the 50 plus range this year. And I don't mean that in a boastful way. I just think it's such a great weekend, such an enjoyable time. And again, start bringing family members and things like that. I think we aren't going to have a problem hitting the 50 mark. Um, and so, food, all that kind of fun stuff. Yes, Eli will be moving into his house soon. Um, yeah, very, very soon. So we're basically down to some little bit of finish on drywall and paint, and then the flooring can go down. We've got some cabinetry stuff to take care of, um, and that's pretty much it. I mean, his house is pretty well done. So we just got to get him in there at this point. And he would have already been in there if we hadn't honestly been so slammed with Christmas orders through the blacksmithing and the plasma cutting setup. So can you bring a skunk? Well, I do have Hay Bear target up there, so we can. I don't know if we want to take target practice on Hay Bear or not, but we do have a skunk target here. You guys are funny. You guys are funny. So anyway, please put that on the schedule. And if nothing else, we're going to have lots of really, really good food. Really good food. We got a guy coming from Kentucky who is probably going to do a combination of a couple different things. And I think one of the things is a good old Kentucky burgoo, maybe some jambalaya, some smoked meats as well. So that guy I know will probably, 98% he'll plan on being here. He really wants to be here. So again, I'm excited about it. I'm excited that we continue to make it a free event, and it will always be a free event. Yes, we've had to move into doing things like raffles and things like that. The selling the T-shirts for the gathering pack and things like that. Yeah, the skunk is big money in fur buyers. It's crazy. It's like one of the highest furs right now is skunk. Go figure. Um, but yeah, we have had to kind of move into the raffles and the selling the packet, so to speak, to kind of help cover costs in here. And you guys have always been so generous to kind of just like, we have people bless us throughout the weekend. Say, hey, I know this is not cheap, but it's always going to be a free thing, no matter what. It will always be free. Jeff says I never win anything. That is, oh my goodness. A.T. Smith Custom Creations. Happy New Year, Troy. Happy New Year to you, buddy. And then there's Mr. Elijah. So yeah, I can't tell you, man. It's just going to be a fantastic time. It's up on the website, so you guys can go check it out. That website is www.barrunforge.com. That's BARRUNFORGE.com. And you go to / either one, events, and that's where the gathering is. The other thing is, if you guys want to come hang out with us during the year, some other time, come hang out with us. We're really hoping to get over and see some people. One of those people, obviously, being Rob, because Rob has stuff for us, and we want to go hang out with you guys anyway. Been meaning to do that for some time, and just got to get over there and do that, and see some of you other fine folks. And so yeah, man, oh man, what a blessing you guys are and have been. We're creeping up on 6 years on the channel in March. There'll be 6 years there. So that's exciting. I don't get to watch often. I'm usually at work, but that's okay. that makes sense, Rob. So what are we doing tonight? Now that I've gotten to that, and I just had to rehandle my Andrew Larson hammer. I made a little boo-boo. I was working on something, and I choked up on the hammer. I forget where that was at. But anyway, I caught it on the Pritchell hole on another anvil, and it splintered off the bottom of my handle on my Andrew Larson hammer, my everyday daily driver. So, rehandled it, made up a new handle for that. So hopefully it's my first time swinging it with the new handle on there. So hopefully I did it right. We shall see. We shall see. I see a mark on there. What did I do that for? I thought they made stuff in this forge. No, rarely. So what I'm going to do tonight, we have this traveling setup when we go to shows and things like that. We have this pouch that Eli found, and it's for punches and chisels and things like that. So instead of grabbing our stuff from here that we generally want, we're trying to come up with just a traveling set that we just take everything with us, and we don't have to worry about gathering it up and bringing it back, putting it away, things like that. So tonight, I'm going to get started on our travel set, and I went out to look for some hardenable steel, and I just actually happened across some tools that were already in there, and I thought, well, there's no need, reforging things. So I found a cold chisel, and I cleaned it up. It was mushroomed on the top with the head and everything. So I cleaned it up. It's in pretty good shape. I may have to do a little bit of filing or whatever, but I mean, it's like a cold chisel to me, and that's really kind of what I needed. So we'll start with that. That's pretty much done. All I have to do is I'll probably oil it up a little bit. So we're thinking about the things that we need to take with us. And, you think cold chisel, slitting chisel, probably a slot punch, round punch, and then a butcher and a center punch. I think that's pretty much it. So we've already got the cold chisel for marking out, things like that. I have a piece in there right now that I'm going to make of spring steel that I'm going to make my center punch out of. And then I got these two longer ones here, and I thought, the longer ones are really good for hot work. So I think what I'm going to do, this one's a little bit bigger. I think I'm going to make this a butcher. So it's already a chisel. So I'm just going to clean it up, do a little bit of forging on it. And this end right here, this bevel, I'm just going to push over a little bit and, create that bevel to go this way. And then at that point, I'm just going to grind it. And then, yeah, I've got steel that I could go ahead and make like a fuller, a ball punch, or a ball fuller, a round fuller. You could do a couple different tools like that. But just, trying to get our handhelds all together. This one here is going to be our round punch. That's kind of long, so I like keeping my hand away from it. It allows you to get your vision in there too. But essentially, all I'm going to do is, actually no, this one I got set to be the slot punch. So butcher, slot punch, and it's just basically some minor reforging on those, and then I'm gonna make a pretty substantial round punch with that, and then this will be our slitting chisel. So we're gonna straighten that out, make our slitting chisel out of it. And that'll be on how many ever we can get done. The steel I have in there right now is going to be for our and yeah, so you can start working on other things like the fullers, ball punches, eye punches, things like that, and just working our way. But I started thinking about what are the essentials. You need a center punch, you need a round punch, and you're going to need a slitting chisel. That's to start your stuff, so you can hot chisel stuff, and then go from there. The bonus was that I already found a cold chisel. It was in pretty good shape. Yeah, I think like a V fuller, that would be another one that would be very handy to have. So there you go. What I have in there right now is what we're going to make our center punch out of. And I love this because there's so many different ways to be able to do all of these styles. And I've seen guys like Rob and some of these other fellas do a particular style. And, just you got to do what works for you. Or just throw it on the ground, either one. But the beauty of all of it is you end up back at the same, basic idea is that as long as it gets the job done, that's the intent, right? Because I know, it's like some guys with their, and then I'll work towards drifts. You want like a 3/8, you want some other drifts as well. So yeah, some people like with their center punch, they like more a more meaty center punch. Some like the square center punch because it seems to show up a little bit better. So I may actually do our center punch square. I think I might actually. So it's distinct as well. And the reason for that is we do a lot of outdoor forging. So I want to be able to make sure that the center punch mark is very visible. And it seems to be that the square center punch mark does seem to be more visible. So tonight the hope is center punch. I'm going to do some reforging on a butcher and a slot punch as well. So the slot punch and the butcher are basically just going to be some redirection of the ends. The ends are already there. So at that point, we'll see if we can't get to slitting chisel and round punch. So we'll see. No, I didn't know that you got your touch mark. Buckeye Engraving, man, they do a great job. Do a great job. 7 o'clock bacon already. Gee whiz. Eli and I talk about this. We're always amazed at how much some of these guys on that one show struggle so mightily straightening out and dealing with coil spring. Just amazing. I mean, there's 10 different ways to do it. They can't seem to come up with any of them. I have honkin' fat center punch Davis made. Don't use it much. Prefer my square center punch. Gotcha. Yeah, that's what I'm getting ready to do. Actually, is kind of similar in size to this one. This is basically your round basic center punch, and I think that's one of the first ones I ever made. So it's been hanging around here a while. May need to be replaced at some point in time. And there's certainly other steels that you can use for things like this. But, coil spring is usually pretty available. So why not use it? It seems to be fairly tough. I may have to cut some of that off because I think that's plenty. 1.12. That's beyond thick. Right. Are you talking about like do something like that first with the spring loaded? Ooh, that dude needs replaced. Won't click. Not that difficult. At least it shouldn't be. No, I get it. I get it. Yeah. Hobby. Yeah, that would be. Would be indeed. Well, Happy New Year to everybody. I'm just, I debated on doing a live stream, but Christmas Day, I had a buddy of mine said, "Hey, you gonna do a live stream on Christmas Day?" No, we're not doing a live stream on Christmas Day, but it's New Year's Day. I've been in here in the shop, got the grandsons in for the weekend, or for a couple days. So I thought, yeah, I'll come back here and do the live stream for you guys, for the people, the people. All right, straighten that dude out a little bit. Oh yeah, we'll definitely be cutting some of this off. All right, one more heat and we'll have it straightened out. Plenty. And then we'll cut a chunk off of it. Deer season down here, well, deer season, regular season's over. There will be a muzzleloader season here in a few weeks. Eric says he's making them all rotten potatoes. Pair of dividers and calipers. I need to get a good set for the wood lathe. So I do. Pork and sauerkraut. That's for supper tonight. It's an old tradition of eating pork and sauerkraut on New Year's Day. Well, I taper the striking in a little bit. Little bit. Okay, I need more straightening on the struck end. Other than that, then we'll go to cutting that dude off where we want. Good thing about that is I can cut it around, and that will help me with the kind of the tapering process a little bit. All right, let's see. Straighten all that out. There we go. Okay, so we got our piece that we're going to use. I'm going to cut a little bit off of that. So it's still thick enough and substantial enough. The old mild steel hammer here. Make a scribe out of the cut. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. That Rob, I'll tell you what. Thinking all the time. Thinking. Well, I hope everybody's got great plans for themselves and for their shop and family and such for the year. I'm not a resolution kind of guy, so not really worked up over that. But I do try to make a plan and try to say, okay, here's some things I can do better in the following year. Bloobs! There's Bloobs, everybody. Metal blueberries. All right. See here, see if that works. Yeah, I agree, buddy. Hopefully this will be a good year for everybody. My plan this year is to not do the same dumb things I did last year. Well, good luck with that. Tell me how it works out. Tell me how it works out. Eric says, my plan's no broken bones. That's a good plan to have. Jeff Killian says, I hope to get back working in the new building. That would be awesome, buddy. That shop's going to be great for you. I've done anything out there for 2 months. Yeah. You know, I just, one of those things that I wish, I'm not that guy a lot, you know, I'm blessed where I'm at, but I would love to have the opportunity to just come see everybody at their shop and just, you know, come hang out with them. And, you know, if time and money were not a thing, I think that's what I would be doing constantly, is just coming and hanging out with you guys and seeing your shops and stuff. Dragging the induction forge downstairs. That is on the wish list. Induction forge, that is. Let's hope for a really good year this year. Taking my time, sneaking up on that. Or just throw that down on the ground. Great idea, Rob. Hopefully we're going to get 2 tools out of this right here. Yeah, if I hang out on yours, how would I get anything done here? Well, I'm not worried about that. I'm not near worried about that. All right, I'm getting close there. I want to go ahead and taper down at the end, and then I think I'm going to go ahead and round it over. Yeah, we've got 220. I mean, we've got a spot for an induction forge. We have an idea for it right now. Over where the bandsaw is right now, where the plasma table used to be, the intent is to have 2 anvils and a vise, to have a station, a whole station over there just with the induction forge. That's the hope. That is the hope. But again, comes down to the dinero. We've got the space. We have the 220. It's really does come down to the money. You know, we've made some decent money for us over the Christmas, and we were like, okay, how do we invest that? One of the things was looking at the bathroom, maybe doing that where our funds could go for the bathroom. But that would leave us with not much else left if we did that right now. So we shall see. We shall see. No propane suffocation machine. Pellet stove. There you go. Are you asking me why? Why the induction forge? If that's the case, if you're asking us, um, convenience, to be quite honest with you. One of the things we've talked about is just, you know, Eli will come in and do a batch of small items that starting up either one of these forges actually cuts down on efficiency in the shop to get either one of them up to forging temperature to do small items or a brief item. So for us, I think that's the desire for having one of them. Yeah, dude, make them. Make whatever you want. I'll have the discussion on that here in just a second. Let me do this heat, and then we'll talk about that. All right, we'll do one more heat on the end, then we'll move towards cutting that off. We do one more heat. So let me talk about that real quick. We'll let that sit for a second. Not hurting anything. So that's a problem, not a problem, but a thing that probably gets brought up some is we have such a cool community. Let me say that from the beginning. We have such a great group of folks that do this craft. They're very generous with their time. They're very generous with their knowledge. More than happy to share a lot of things. And I think the majority of them, vast majority of them, have a really good outlook on, hey, this is the way I make things the way you want to make them. And look, a hammer is not an exclusive thing to one guy or to the other. It's, punches and chisels. It's not exclusive. So the process here is, if you want to continue to do this thing, you kind of have to, do what sells and then sell it. So I wouldn't hesitate to tell anybody, go ahead and make something that you enjoy making, and if it's profitable to you, go ahead and make it. I'll be very upfront. Thomas is in here, and yeah, we have the CNC plasma table. We didn't do the CNC plasma table in response to, well, Roy's got a plasma table, so let's weasel in on his market and try to, no, it was like, that's a really cool piece of equipment that I really kind of wanted to have. I'm going to go get the thing. And we bought the smaller one because we didn't know what we'd be doing with it. And I've had several phone calls with Roy to say, look, I'm not trying to weasel in on your business. We want to do a completely separate thing than what you do. And he and I both have said, look, nobody has exclusive rights to cut out metal pieces. It's just, make the thing that sells and sell it. And, it's one thing to say, hey, we cut out this, I don't know, let's say a Santa Claus. We cut out this Santa Claus and we just happened to see it up on your website as a blank. And it looks exactly like our Santa Claus that we designed. That's one thing to say, hey, we went out and bought a file that looks exactly like the file you make. That's one thing. It's another thing to say, boy, your hammer looks a whole lot like A, B, and C. Okay, so we do it in a similar style. I love this style of cross-peen. If I were to be making cross-peen hammers, that's the style of cross-peen hammer that I would try to make. I don't think I can make it like that, but if I come close, that's the style I would make. And if I decide to sell hammers, that would be the kind I would probably do and sell them. It's okay. And so, for me, you got a talented smith like Rob Huff, who I've seen make some really cool stuff and good hammers, nice tools, really cool tools. I would love to own a Rob Huff hammer. Like, get on his site or whatever and purchase a Rob Huff hammer. It'd probably be sitting right there next to this hammer and be right in line for a daily driver. So, Rob Huff or any of you guys, make them, sell them, please. You just increase the stock out there for people to choose from. I mean, that makes sense, Rob, especially if you've got the induction forge. You could have a smaller shop that you just set up a station with an anvil and a vise and just your basic tools, and have a small little heater. You know, you could probably do it inside your shop that you've got now, and do something like that. So, what, like Thomas just said, the plasma table is a tool, and you need to utilize it to its highest ability, to what it'll do. Um, I mean, that's all there is to it. I mean, this hammer. If somebody said, no, you can't own a hammer because somebody else owns a hammer and does stuff with a hammer. Just the same as, well, you can't own a sawzall, or you can't own a bandsaw, or you can't own, you know, a plasma table or something like that. Oh, it's silly. It's silly to think. There's the tools. They're readily available out on the market. Go get them, use them, sell the items, or don't sell them. Don't worry about it. So there you go. And then learn from other people on how to make them better or whatever. Just a tool. Make them. Yeah, there you go. That's Troy's tirade for today. So there you go. All right, I'm gonna heat this up one more again. Hit it with the old file and rasp. Go from there. Yeah, you guys don't get Troy's tirades very often, but that's my take on it. I think, you know, they're tools. They're not exclusive to one person. The items coming out that are not exclusive to one person. I mean, like I said, if you had a copyright on something and you start seeing your work out there, yeah, you have every right and reason to call them out on it. But just to be clear, Roy and I have had multiple conversations about this. So, and I would suggest that I would say, hey, go talk to somebody else who does what you do, and you know, look, we're just in the same thing together, trying to make a living, trying to make a go of it. We'll be as respectful as we possibly can. That's why we've chosen some of the things that we've chosen to make the way we make them, for that reason. Just out of love and respect for what Roy does and some of you other guys do out there. We do it a specific way. That's one of the things I love about this craft is you can see 10 different guys make a hammer, or you know, a draw knife or something like that, and 10 different guys will make it 10 different ways and get to the same tool. Now, will it be identical to the other one? No, of course not. But that's what handcrafted is all about, and I love that. All right, so we've made the end for our scribe. Now I'm going to get the cutoff tool, already cut. We're going to cut that dude off. Exactly, Eric. Right on. There you go. Ball peen for a ball punch. Stuff like that. Use your tools the way you see fit. And the other side is I don't get the guys that, well, you can't make it that way, and you can't do it that way, and it's not real blacksmithing if you don't do it that way, and all that kind of stuff. That will get me on a rant real quick. The whole, well, that's not real blacksmithing or something like that. There's Troy, Deep Creek Iron Works. Great to have you in here, buddy. There's a good weight loss program. Try to make a living off of what you forge. Well, Jeff, I think you've made a pretty good start at it, buddy. You make some really cool stuff. Very impressed, man. There it goes. We'll stop that for a second and take a peek at the beginning of our little scribe. See there, I'll just do a little bit of work here in a little bit on that head for the scribe. Doesn't really need to be much of anything, but if you want to kind of doll it up a little bit, that's where you can do that. Good looking out there, Rob Huff. Now, let's make that center punch. Adapt, improvise, and overcome. There you go. Yeah, I've been struggling here. Again, the Christmas rush destroyed our shop. You guys have been in here, know that I like to keep my shop in a certain way, and it's just been an absolute disaster. And I've spent the last part of the last 2 days just getting it back to where I can work in here, especially since I've got 2 guys coming Saturday. And there's only so much I can do because, like I said, some of Eli's stuff is in here, and it's not leaving until he moves out. So there's only so much you can do. Hoping those will hold right. All right. We'll make a fairly shallow or a steep taper on this right here. So there's plenty of material for a center punch. Well, that's just straightening up more than anything at this point. Straighten up. Forgot how much of my floor space would be taken up by clutter. Yeah, it happens in a hurry. I agree with you, Roger. Thank you, Rob. Bloob says, I wish everyone goodwill for the next year. Good things will come. I agree. I agree. Really looking forward to 26. There we go. All right. I'm going to try to do as much of this forged as possible. But, you know, like I said, we'll see. Kind of liking that so far. Do a little bit more forging on the end, then I'll flip it around, square everything up. Yeah, his household items are in here. Yeah, he's got hunting clothes and pots and pans and TVs and microwave, refrigerator, all kinds of stuff in here. So when that stuff goes out, then we'll create a little bit of floor space in here. All right, let's see if we can't put a little bit more of a point on it there. At least to the point where I feel comfortable just putting a little bit of a grind on it. Not too too crazy. Yeah. Okay, I think I like that. Yep. So there we are so far for our square center punch. Finish that down a little bit, and then we'll work on the struck end. I think we're just going to do square all the way down. Big sale in April, I heard. What's that? Yard sale. Yeah, in April. That's a good point. I didn't see all that. Sorry, guys. Will you just quench it, or will you temper it also? I will. Usually with coil spring that I know I'm going to be doing hot work with, I don't do anything. Sometimes, with it being a center punch on cold work, I go through the whole tempering, full heat treat process. Yeah, so for cold work tools, I do the whole process. For hot tools, depends on the mood I'm in. But if they're going to get hot, I don't think it really matters a whole lot. Try to keep the same line here, make it square all the way down. Thought about transitioning the sides over to octagon, but I don't think I will. Just try to keep everything straight more than anything. Yeah, I'll probably, with this, I'll quench it in oil, clean it all up, and then temper the end. I'll just temper the tip about the first inch and a half. A little bit. Probably do about a straw. Okay, got it good and straight. Lines are good. The edges are kind of rounded a little bit. I think I may not make them real sharp because I don't, that'd be kind of hard when you're holding on to stuff. Mr. Wayne Height, so I got a text from. Thank you so much, buddy, for a happy new year. Same to you. Down under Farm and Forge, good day. How are you? How are you? Good to have all you guys in here on this New Year's Day live stream. think we're pretty close right there. I think we're pretty close. Like that, like that, like all of that. Okay, so I'll stop for a second. I'm kind of show you what we're doing. I went ahead and did a little bit of tapering on that end, so I can just basically file it to a point. No big deal there. And as you can see, I've got plenty of material, and I didn't do a whole lot with the struck end. So I think what we'll probably do there, that's plenty of material. I like the length on that. So I may, see what I may do. I may put that back in the fire and just round that end a bit. Yeah, we'll just do a slight taper on the end there, the struck end. And my chances are I'll probably get it hot and hot rasp the top of it and give it a good going over on the top there for that use. Let's not real even anyway, so yeah, we'll go octagon on the top of that. A little bit of taper. As I said, we'll heat it up. Hit it with the hot rasp. That'll be the end of that. No, I didn't put a hex on it. I was prepared for that, but I did not. I did not. My sincere apologies to Wild Bill Corey on that one. All right. Not bad. Heat it up, brush it off. That's pretty good. Putting lawnmower blades in. Oh, shoot. Yeah, just when you think, there he is. There he is. Just when you think you've got a one up on him. Hello, Wild Bill. How are you, my brother? He's here. He is here. Yep. If I like this enough, I may do one for here in this shop. I may actually do that. I don't know. You know what I didn't do? Didn't touch mark it. Didn't touch mark it. Oh, I love the treadle hammer. You'll never find. Okay. Now, we'll go ahead and do heat treat. That end, on the working end. Lawnmower blade. Right back at you, Bill. Right back at you, man. Okay. So, that dude over here. Scuff that up so we can see the color change. And that dude in there, keep an eye on him. Grinding, sorry. All right, let's take a look at our scribe. See what we want to do with it. Hey, I almost want to put it in a bit. Oh, that's so close. So close. Another one. Work for. Actually, I may just. So the plan is, I'm gonna heat the end of that up. I'll probably take it over to the vise and just do a little bit of forging on it. A little bit. I'm not gonna do much. So I tapered it down a little bit with the grinder, not much because it was already forged pretty close. I tapered down a little bit, and all I'll do when this is all tempered and everything is I'll just take a file to it, get that final point on it. So it'll have 3 different tapers. So it'll have that long taper on the handle, it'll have a short taper, and then it'll have the point. That's crazy, Rob. Why did? Yeah, yeah. How about them Buckeyes? Uh, that that was disheartening to say the least. All right, we're going to let that sit because we're actually getting pretty close where it needs to be. Meantime, I'll heat that up a little bit. See, that song's going to be in my head now. I didn't quench the back end all the way, so there's probably still some heat in there. And then I put it in the forge, so should get some temper in it. Not obviously not too quickly, but quick enough. 2 rolls. I'm still with you guys. Hang in there. There's still heat. Yep. Still heat. Rebar, an upgrade from grounding rod. Well, grounding rod would be brass, so depends on what you're doing. I don't want to rush it. Don't want to rush it, but it is 8 o'clock. Hang with me, guys. We'll be done in just a minute. Oh, that's close. All right, I think I threw it on the ground. I think we've got a scribe. This one, I'm going to harden. I will not temper it back. I'm out just right. Perfect. All right. Got it. Phone was a ringing. All right. We're done at least for the evening on those. Get an idea what we got. No, I did not touch mark the scribe. Okay, so here's what we got. That'll get a little, that's the scribe, and that'll get a little bit of little firework on the end, and I'll probably clean it up a little bit on the top, just somewhere to hold it. And then our square center punch, and again, that'll get a fine point put on it, square, on the end there. So that'll just be probably a file, and I may do a little cleanup on the top there. That just got hot rasps, so it's not like finished or anything like that. But we got our touch mark in there. So that little piece of coil spring got us a scribe and a square center punch. So that'll be able to go in the pouch when it's all said and done. So far, that's a pretty substantial cold chisel. Yeah, it's gonna, there you go. We got a cold chisel in there. And then we'll have center punch, we'll have a scribe. So we're making pretty good progress. The other two that are already kind of just need reforged won't take much. So, you know, good start on filling up the old pouch, so to speak. And I think we'll keep on doing that over the next couple weeks. And that goes in the Bill Corey travel box. But yeah, there you go. 2 down or 3 down. A few to go. There you go. All right, let's take a look at what everybody has to say here. There you go. Forgot Troy was forging over in that window. Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate that. Roger, Jeff, Wayne. The IBA is 3 weeks after your hammer in. Okay. Yeah, watching them argue or going at each other is, yeah, a lot of fun. And Rob has experienced it as much as probably anybody. But guys, it's 8:09. I'm getting phone calls, so I probably ought to respond to those. And it's always an absolute pleasure being here with you guys. Hopefully next Thursday. No, Eli won't be here next Thursday. He'll be at a leadership Christian men's leadership conference. So I'll be by myself again, which means we'll probably be right back into tool making here in the shop. And so we're looking forward to that. Like I said, we'll do a little bit of work on the finish up on the scribe and the final finish on the square center punch. Yeah, I think I'm going to like that. Yeah, that'll be good. That will be good. So then, like I said, we'll have to also make, when we do our punching and chiseling, this is another thing. When we do our punching and chiseling, we like to use a mild steel hammer. I know some other folks, they don't have a problem with it. It's no big deal. But it's just kind of a preference for us. We like to use the mild steel. Kind of keeps the mushrooming onto the hammer, not to the tools. As much as possible, it helps a little bit. And not as much worry about things chipping off or breaking off if there's something, in the heating and tempering portion of it. So yeah, been great. I appreciate you guys so much. Just been, an hour and almost 45 minutes. It flies right by with you guys hanging out here. All, dude, Bill Corey. Now that song's gonna be in there. I'll go back to Lou Rawls. Okay. Gonna miss the dad knee. No, it'll be right here. It'll be right here. Thank you very much, Roger, and all you guys in here. What an amazing time to spend with you guys. Again, go to the website, www.barrunforge.com. That's BARRUNFORGE.com/events. Get signed up for the gathering. The other thing that we will say is if you guys, and thank you guys, I appreciate all the compliments and the comments there. If you guys have suggestions for the gathering, I know we get together at the end of the thing, kind of go over it, whatever. It needs to be your event as well. It's just not just our event. Some things like, hey, how about we do this thing, or how about we bring in this, or can we get this thing done? Let me know. Let me know. Get in touch with us. You guys have my number. You have our email. Get in touch with us. We want to make it as interesting to you guys as we possibly can. God bless you all. We will see you on the next one. And get ready. There will be some more bad dad jokes coming your way as well. God bless you all. We'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.